Well, good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Natalie Shepard.
Yeah, I'm Jessup Ricebeck. We appreciate you being there on this Thursday evening. Our top story tonight, the race for Wisconsin governor, of course, is already crowded, but the field could get even wider in the next few days. The Republican side only has two candidates right now, Northwoods Congressman Tom Tiffany and Washington County Executive Josh Showman.
However, the Democratic side already has 8 candidates running campaigns. Lieutenant Governor Sarah Rodriguez, Milwaukee County Executive David Crowley, State Senator Kelda Roys, State Representative Francesca Hong, former Economic Development Secretary Missy Hughes, former State Rep Brett Halsey, AmFam Field beer vendor Ryan Starnad, and 22-year-old college student Zachary Roper.
And on top of that, former candidate for U.S. Senate and Lieutenant Governor Mandela Barnes is signaling interest in getting into the race, as is Joel Brennan, who served as a top cabinet official under Governor Tony Evers.
Our AJ Bayatpour sat down with Brennan earlier today and joins us now from the newsroom. And AJ, what would Brennan's pitch to voters be?
Well, Natalie, Jessup, 2 words came up often during our interview with Brennan: experience and relationships. The question is whether that would be enough to sway voters in a packed Democratic primary. You're strongly considering running for governor. Why?
I am. And maybe you don't hear about it because people come from different perspectives. The thing that I guess is my currency in my home community in Milwaukee and what I've done around the state is relationships.
Joel Brennan touts relationships formed as Secretary of the Department of Administration during Governor Evers' first term. He says he takes pride in managing most of the federal dollars Wisconsin received at the outset of the COVID-19 pandemic.
Virtually all of those dollars came through the Department of Administration where I worked, and I worked with a very small group of individuals to figure out how are we going to make sure that those resources get out to places that were desperately in need.
Brennan is currently president of the Greater Milwaukee Committee. Before working for the Evers administration, he was the CEO of Discovery World. He says in such a crowded Democratic field, a record of running agencies and organizations is valuable.
You know, in talking to people around the state over the last few months, I think they're still looking forward. They think that there are qualifications that are maybe not demonstrated in the field as it is, and some of those are ones that I bring.
A Marquette Law School poll from last month found 81% of Democratic voters and 70% of Republicans are undecided on who they support for governor.
I think there are some interesting conversations happening within the Democratic Party right now about ideology, strategy, and style.
You know, if it's about who's the angriest or who has the reddest face or who just wants to wreak vengeance, then I may not be successful. But if it's about, yes, we're angry, but yes, we also want to get something done, I think I've got the ability, and I think I've proven and demonstrated that that's kind of who I have been.
When will you make your decision?
Well, we'll sit down over the Thanksgiving holiday. I'll watch the Packers hopefully beat the Lions at Thanksgiving and talk to my friends and continue to make phone calls to people around the state, which I've been doing for the last several weeks, and I'll decide, frankly, within a few days after that.
I did press a little more on what Brennan meant by a few days. He says an announcement will come before Christmas. Well, so far, we've interviewed several of the current candidates for governor, and you can find those interviews on our website, cbs58.com. That's it from the newsroom. Natalie Jessup, let's go back to you.
All right, AJ Bayatpour live for us tonight. AJ, thank you very much.